Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Straight Talk. In this episode, we're here at our Istanbul office with Cameron Degin. Cameron, welcome.
Hello.
Cameron, today we'll do something interesting. Today is going to be all about fun. We'll mostly have some fun. I got some facts about Turkey in this paper in my hand, and I'm going to tell these facts to you and the audience, and somehow, Cameron, I will expect you to tie these facts into a real estate investment.
All right, so basically we decided to have a fun episode, but somehow, since we're a real estate company, we can't just talk about funny and funky stuff.
Yeah.
We somehow need to tie our little fun bits to real estate.
Yeah.
But hold on, I mean, do not expect serious pointers here. This is a fun episode, so we're gonna be humorous. Let's say,
yes.
All right.
Let's
this is off the cuff. This is just on the moment kind of thing. No rehearsal. So
I'll start with the easy ones, Cameron. I'll start with the easy one. This very first fact, I basically know what it is, but this idea came from you. So I basically kind of want you to verify this thing. There has been talk. I mean, you know how Turkey is a very central location in the world and everything. So there have been talks. Some people are saying it may or may not be the center of the world type of thing, and some people are saying it's the Greenwich in the UK. Some people are saying it's Tibet or the Himalayas or whatever. I basically don't know very much, but some people are saying it's Turkey. First of all, can you verify this for me?
So I looked it up, and this is the result. Look. Where is the center of the world? Now, look at this. In 1973, Andrew J. Woods, a physicist with Gulf Energy and Environmental Systems in San Diego, California, used a digital global map and calculated the coordinates on a mainframe system as the center of the world. And according to this, the center of the world is in modern-day Turkey near the district of Kırşehir province.
Right.
So basically, center of the world is apparently in Turkey.
Okay.
So Turkey apparently sits on the center of the world.
How would you tie that into a real estate investment advice? Take the fact, Turkey being the center of the world, and very quickly, just in 30
I don't have to say much.
Year.
Who doesn't want to live in the center of the world? Hey.
Okay, this was easy. This was
Very easy.
Turkey having a central location. Real estate is all about location. Yada yada yada.
Exactly.
Okay. So the second fact that I'm going to give you. This is very easy. Also, now. I'm going to say the fact, and I want you to turn this into a real estate investment advice.
Go on, then.
Istanbul is the only city that spans 2 continents.
Istanbul is the only city situated on 2 continents. So it straddles 2 continents.
Right.
Okay, so the continent of Europe, the continent of Asia. And it is the only city in the world to have this unique position. Now, I want to be a jet setter. I want to travel 2 continents in one day. Well, hey, all you need to do is cross the bridge.
Right.
And you're in a different continent.
Yes.
So, hey, have a home in Turkey. Every day you could become a jet setter, traveling 2 continents in one day.
Good.
In fact, you could do that 10 times a day if you want.
In 10 minutes you can do it.
Who else could do that?
Yeah, what a luxury. In
What a
10
luxury.
minutes. You just need to take one of the ferries with a little Istanbul card for 1 lira, and you just travel the continents.
You travel continents.
Yeah. Good one. Now, it's getting a little harder.
Yeah, go on then.
Now, the first person who flew with wings was a guy named Hazarfen Çelebi. He took off from the Galata Tower with his wings, and he flew across the Bosphorus and landed on Üsküdar.
Turkey gives you wings.
Oh, come on now.
Why not?
Turkey gives you wings.
Turkey.
No.
Buy a home in Turkey.
And you'll
Turkey
fly.
gives you wings.
Turkey will give you wings. Okay.
Turkey will give you wings.
Now it's getting a little bit. No, it's not harder, but it's just we're diversifying from Istanbul now. Santa Claus was born in Turkey in a place called Demre.
It's in the province of Antalya, a town called Demre, and well, actually, I think it's a province. It's a town called Demre, and I think the exact district or the ancient city is called Myra.
Yes.
After which I named my daughter.
Good.
So if you buy a home in Turkey, your children will never go without Christmas presents.
Okay, maybe.
Because Santa Claus is right next door.
Therefore, you should buy a house in Turkey.
Therefore, you need to buy a house in Turkey if you want this kind of gifts and happiness to surround your home.
Let's continue with the South Coast.
Okay.
Mark Antony. You know Mark Antony?
The commander of the army, wasn't he?
He was a commander. He was the right-hand man of Julius Caesar.
Yeah.
This Mark Antony guy gave Cleopatra a part of the Turkish coast as a wedding gift.
Throughout the history, that particular part of Turkey is associated with people coming in order to refresh themselves, detox themselves, and to purify and beautify their skin.
Right.
So if Cleopatra chose Turkey, the south coast of Turkey, as a place to beautify herself,
yes,
then why shouldn't you?
Therefore, you need to buy a home in Antalya.
Therefore, you need to buy a home around Antalya, where Cleopatra used to beautify herself. So maybe it could rub off.
I like this, by the way.
Maybe it could rub off.
Okay. Turks introduced coffee to Europe. During their 16th century raids into Central and Eastern Europe, the Ottomans took coffee with them. The countries they invaded developed a taste for coffee.
Ottoman army, during the siege of Vienna, I think the second siege of Vienna, the Ottoman army, during a fight scene, and they've got all these sacks and sacks of something that is spilt all over the place in the battleground, actual battleground. And it shows the crusader or the defending army kind of mesmerized and surprised as to what these sacks are, because there are coffee beans in them. Mm. And the story then comes from there. And this is kind of depicts the introduction of Europe to coffee.
So how do you tie that into Turkish real estate?
Well, if you're into coffee and you wish to live in a place which is the home of coffee, then come to Turkey.
Good one. I couldn't think about that.
Well, it's just simple.
I'll give you another fact.
Go on then.
Turks drinks 10 cups of tea. What? Turks drinks 10 cups of tea a day.
Well, if you want to keep your blood pressure high at all times and possibly your teeth rather yellow, then come to Turkey.
Okay, good one. Okay. Some people believe that Noah's Ark washed up in Turkey and inspired a dessert. Mount Ararat is thought by some to be the land that was sighted by the Ark after the Great Flood.
Noah knows that the world is about to come to an end and there's going to be this massive flood. Obviously, he's pre-warned that there's going to be this massive flood. So what he does is he picks somehow a couple, a couple of each species living on Earth, like 2 ants, male, female, 2 lions, 2 cats, everything. And he puts them on this massive boat, massive ship, the Ark. And then the Ark starts sailing. And then the flood actually hits the world. So there's this massive flood, nothing spared, all life extinguished. And as the flood subsides, there's only one particular point on entire Earth that the flood doesn't destroy. And that's the tip of Mount Ararat in Turkey.
Right.
Well, you want to be prepared for the end of the world?
Come to Turkey.
Come to Mount Ararat, because that's the only place that will be saved.
we don't sell real estate around there.
It doesn't matter.
Just say, okay,
you can buy in Istanbul.
Yeah,
you can
come
buy
to
in Portugal.
Istanbul,
you can
1
buy
hour,
in South Coast.
1 hour
Only
flight.
1 hour, and there's a direct flight to Mount Ararat. So when the next flood hits, that's the only place that will be saved.
So basically, Sultan Bayezid II commissions Leonardo da Vinci to design a beautiful bridge to span across the Golden Horn. Da Vinci really and truly designs it, and we have the pictures of the design today. But for some reason, Sultan just rejects that design and goes on to build what we have today, the Galata Bridge. So, tie that into real estate.
Well, before trying to tie it into real estate, I'd say that Leonardo da Vinci was extremely busy at the time, and he was extremely busy looking at himself in the mirror and drawing himself as a rather unattractive female, later to be known as Mona Lisa.
Okay.
Which we all
You think she's
know.
unattractive?
Well,
For the day's time, she was okay,
She's
man.
not the most attractive of female faces, and the rumor, let's say, is that in fact Da Vinci drew himself, his own reflection in the mirror. That's the rumor, in fact, about Mona
Really?
Lisa, and that's why Mona Lisa's eyes always follow you wherever you go.
Interesting. Therefore, buy a home in Florence, Italy.
Well, no. Therefore, buy a home in Turkey.
Why?
Because prices are going up. I can't really find a connection to Leonardo da Vinci and the Golden Horn as to why you would buy a home in Turkey, other than the fact that the Golden Horn is beautiful, and Leonardo da Vinci, had he chosen to build or draw, because he was an architect as well, apparently, this guy, had he chosen to finalize the Golden Horn Bridge, we probably would be looking at a picture of the Golden Horn in a museum in Paris today, as opposed to Mona Lisa, because apparently the excuse he gave for not doing it is because he was far too busy doing Mona Lisa. By the way,
That's not accurate at all.
it is.
Sultan rejected his design.
No,
It's pretty simple.
Sultan didn't reject his design.
Let me be a very that's what I know. That's what the
So the Sultan actually rejected
of
his
course
design?
he designed it.
Why?
We have the designs. Because
Why did the Sultan reject his design?
these are the people whose value is known and appreciated many centuries after they're gone. It's not like at the time Da Vinci was like the Cristiano Ronaldo today. You know, that's what I'm saying. The communication wasn't that his fame. You know, it's not. Do you see what I mean? He was not a myth back then. He was just a person. But if I was a cheesy salesperson, and if I had a client, I would say, and I would take the client to somewhere around either Tersane, Istanbul, or where we sold, Cihangir Panorama, that building overlooking Galata Bridge. I would say, brother, look at this bridge. Even Da Vinci's designs has been rejected for this design.
I think his bridge, from what I understand, was quite a curvious one.
Yeah,
So it kind of
probably
went
more expensive to build. I think that was the reason.
it was like curvious like that, and at the time, I think probably the Sultan thought, "Hey, I like straight things, not bent things." So he didn't approve it.
Agriculture began in Turkey. More than 11,000 years ago, inhabitants of Çatalhöyük, a large Neolithical and Chalcolithical settlement in south-central Turkey, were consuming crops such as wheat and barley, which historians accept as the earliest example of agriculture.
There are a lot of evidences today that agriculture, what we refer to now as agricultural revolution, appears to have started almost at the same time in a few different places around the world. This is very interesting. One of them, and still thought to be the very first one, is Mesopotamia. Turkey, Syria, like where the two rivers meet.
Right.
So that particular part of the world is, in fact, which sits partially, the largest portion of it is in Turkey, is known as the cradle of civilization. So there you go. You want to have a home in the cradle of civilization? Look no further. Turkey it is.
Cradle comes with it.
Cradle comes with it.
You ready for the next one?
Go on there.
World's oldest religious site has been found in southeastern Turkey called Göbekli Tepe, where you had giant megaliths. And what the part of it that has been excavated is just the tip of the iceberg.
Yes.
That whole area and the mountains, the entire mountain range is full of those religious places, the ceremonial places. Now, this has been referred to as the starting point of culture in religions and the agricultural societies.
Göbekli Tepe is a very, very interesting place.
Yes.
And it still has a few mysteries, unsolved mysteries.
Yeah.
Settlements and what we can refer to as culture, civilization, starts with agricultural revolution.
Right.
However, then comes the discovery of Göbekli Tepe, which predates agricultural revolution by 2,000 years.
Right.
And there are signs of mass gatherings of not 100, 150, but thousands of people.
Yes.
So it is an incredibly important find, unmatched by any other so far in Turkey, this site called Göbekli Tepe.
Right. And there's nothing around it, right?
Very, very interesting.
How do you tie that to
If you are a culture buff who likes to unravel mysteries, look no further than having a home in Turkey. Because Turkey is not only unique in many things, but it's also full of mysteries that await for the learned to unravel.
Therefore, you need to buy a house.
Therefore, you need to buy a house.
Don't go check into a hotel or rent a place.
buy a
Just
house.
Buy a house. Okay. And this is the last one.
Go on then.
Oil wrestling is a national sport in Turkey.
What wrestling?
Oil wrestling. So this is what happens. Men get half naked, they oil themselves, and they basically wrestle themselves. And it's our national sport. You know, Kırkpınar and everything. So that's basically our national sport. So it's a very fun event that a lot of men gather, and they just wrestle each other with oil. So tie that into real estate.
Why would you wrestle wrapped up in oil? So if you have oil all over your body, that's slippery, so no one can grab you, right? That's the whole point, isn't it?
Right.
Because these oil wrestlers, they wear these kind of quite baggy, kind of shorts,
black
don't
trousers,
they?
yeah.
But they're not exactly trousers; they're above the knee.
Trunks, yeah.
Yeah, but they're quite baggy, so that you can hold it.
Yeah.
I think, as far as I know, that's the whole idea, that this is where you grab people with that shorts, because you can't grab their arm, it will slip, because it's all covered in oil. So there's no part of the body that you can actually have a firm grab over.
Other than the pelvis area.
Other than down there.
Down there, yeah.
Yeah, down there. So
how do you wanna tie that into? Okay, sell somebody a home with that information now.
If you don't want to go down a slippery slope, then make sure you get your partner to wear short pants and come to Turkey for some oil wrestling. Could be fun. And buy a house.
Buy a house in the meantime. How about this fact? Turkey is the largest producer of hazelnuts. Now, tie that into Turkish real estate.
Okay, Turkish hazelnuts are in fact the best hazelnuts in the world. They are, in terms of production. And how I know that? Because I used to work for a company that produced chocolates.
Was this Philip Morris?
Prof Foods. That was owned by Philip Morris. Now they have brands like Toblerone, Milka, and quite a few of their brands, they have hazelnuts in them. Now, about 20 years ago, there was some sort of bacteria that allegedly was found at the time in Turkish hazelnuts. I can't remember what the bacteria was called, but some sort of bacteria. And as a result, there was quite a lot of pressure from Spain, also a big producer of hazelnuts, to switch European chocolate production, the hazelnuts used in European chocolates mainly, which was from Turkey, to Spain.
Yes.
So Milka at the time switched their hazelnut production to Spanish hazelnuts from Turkey. It so happened that a year after that, we were auditing one of the chocolate producing plants, Milka chocolate producing plants in Austria. what we noticed is that what we call the complaints book over the past 12 months had grown 3-4 times thicker than the preceding 12 months.
Because of the quality of the hazelnut?
Because of the quality, the taste of the chocolate. People were complaining, writing in, that it didn't taste the same. There's something missing in the taste. And then they realized that it was the hazelnuts. Because Spanish hazelnuts simply wouldn't give that same delicious taste that Turkish hazelnuts is. So immediately they had to switch from Spanish back to Turkish hazelnuts. So if you wish to consume the best hazelnuts of the world at the most affordable prices, local prices, then be a local of Turkey, because the best hazelnuts are indeed produced in Turkey.
This is
buy a home in Turkey.
Yeah, buy a home in Turkey, preferably Trabzon, because that's where mostly they are.
Preferably in the north coast of Turkey. But then again, you could buy anywhere in Turkey, because your hazelnuts will be delivered to your door at the courtesy of Alaaddin Kılıç.
You don't actually need to buy a house for any of these reasons.
No, you don't.
Apart from Istanbul being the only city in the world that spans 2 continents.
Why would you buy a house because of that?
It makes the city unique. There's only one Bosphorus in the world.
There is only one
Bosphorus. For example, every single special production car, one of 50, or every single, limited edition watch, 1 out of 100 or whatever. Whatever is limited and special, its value is going up. So anything that you buy across the Bosphorus today, facing the Bosphorus, its value has to go up no matter what happens to the economy, no matter what happens to this or that, because you are buying a unique asset,
100%.
Which is going to appreciate.
Which also happens to be situated in the center of the world.
There you go.
Not only in the city, the only city that straddles 2 continents, but also you'll have a home in the center of the world. What more do you want? Where you can have access to the best hazelnuts.
Right.
The first man to fly.
Right.
Well, his museum is there. And also
a bridge that never got built.
A bridge that never got built by Leonardo
Would have
da
been
Vinci.
amazing if it was built.
Would have been. And what else? And for culture buffs, there's Göbekli Tepe, there's Çatalhöyük, the one of them, the first place where apparently agricultural revolution started, and the other one, 2,000 years before agricultural revolution, an evidence of worship and mass gathering, which we still don't understand why or how. So now, if you simply do not want to understand, come to Turkey.
I get it.
A lot of questions.
Yes. Cameron Dagan.
Unanswered.
It has been a fun episode.
Well, I hope so.
Thank you very much. And in this episode, we have got to know how cultured you are. How well educated in history you are.
Well, I do enjoy
not only history, but geography also.
My geography isn't
not
as
only
good.
Geography,
I'll
but
be honest.
Macro and microeconomics.
But history,
also.
I mean, I'm really interested in prehistoric civilizations.
I'm just trying to praise you.
No,
I said history, geography, macroeconomics because you talked about the
all of that. All of that.
And you were
I'm a good cook too.
A lot. God has blessed you, man.
Nah.
Cameron Dagan, thank you very much for this episode. Guys, thank you very much for watching. If you're interested in buying a piece of real estate based on this information and based on what we have just provided you with this number, you can reach out to us. Thank you very much. See you in the next one.